Hello, I'm jashykins, and welcome to another little vlog review. This time of the elementary episode, The Adventure of the Nutmeg Concoction. The summary for this episode is, aboard Sherlock forces his investigative services onto Joan, who is trying to locate a woman who has been missing for 5 years, and the only clue is the smell of nutmeg at the site of her disappearance. Meanwhile, Joan's bond with her long-distance boyfriend Andrew is tested when a man from her past reappears and asks for her help. Sherlock and Joan have always had a little connection, and I'm probably not the only one who's seen that. And whether you think they are, sexually attracted to each other or not, the truth is Sherlock cares very deeply for Joan. And he says in this episode, he's like, I didn't mean to insult you earlier. It's just that you're such a great person. Why are you in a relationship? Because, things are started with her relationship and her views on it, like, oh, that's what society wants, blah blah. And Sherlock's like, why do you stick yourself in that situation? Look at all the other ways you can be physical and not physical with someone. It's like Sherlock is trying to help her out by going, you are amazing, you should, stick yourself in a box for someone. And I really like that part, because it's like, yeah, Sherlock can be an asshole at times, but he does care. And then later, at the end of the episode, he basically says thank you to Kitty for providing an important clue that helped them solve the case. Not just solve the case, but get the guilty party in prison. So yeah. And he's like, hey, usually I am very strict on when and how long you can play your music. And she has some tastes. And is like, you helped solve this, you really showed how good of a detective you can be in the future, so play your music as loud as you want. And she turns off her current music and then puts on some classical. And it's just like, Sherlock is a good guy. He's like, hey, you're going along in your training. Here, good job. Do what you want. It was really sweet. Sherlock had some really, really sweet moments this episode. Just like it. It's cute. And finally, Mrs. Hudson finally appears again this episode. She's the transgender woman. I'm pretty sure the right term is transgender, and I don't know if that's like you have to be transitioning, or you can just say trans and you mean anyone who who doesn't identify with the gender, doesn't have the same sex and gender identity. They identify as male while being physically woman. Like, I love all you guys and girls like that, but I like wording it and wording when I can't, just sit down and type it for 5 minutes and try to get the words out right, and then, posting oh, it looks like I just came up with that on the spot. So I love you guys. And so Mrs. Hudson finally appeared again, and she was sort of semi-important in this episode. She was looking on the police scanners for anything dealing with nutmeg smell. And ta-da, she picked one up. massage. Like, it was a small little scene, but I like seeing her. While this show does have its faults, the whole diversity in the series is awesome. Because Mrs. Hudson is now a transgender woman, so she's still Mrs. Hudson, or Miss Hudson, whatever, she's still a woman Hudson, while, showing the transgender community a character of their own. So hopefully Mrs. Hudson can start to be a bigger part, maybe not. And anyways, my final thoughts of the elementary episode, The Adventure of the Nutmeg Concoction. I loved all the Sherlock moments. I liked, of course, the twists and turns of this episode, where it turns out it wasn't a nutmeg killer. It was someone who cleaned up the bodies. So yeah. Nice little twist. And yeah, we need more Mrs. Hudson. I like seeing her. And I have been Jashykins, owner at jashykins.blogspot.com. If you go to my blog, you can see video log reviews like this, and I have written reviews of movies and books. I have to get out my review of the second book of the Maze Runner series this century. Like somehow the work keeps on getting slowed. And if you go to my blog on the sidebar thing, you can see where else I'm on the web and say hi. And there's also a dragon on the sidebar thingy, and you can go and suggest names, and if your name is chosen, you can see the benefits and the rules of the naming underneath the little beauty. And it turns out the dragon is a female, so yay. And if you are watching this on the YouTubes, go into the description and click on the donate your account link, and if you donate your Twitter and or Facebook accounts to my campaign, thank you very much, and until next video, goodbye.